So this is Ghost Hunter Jeff with another exciting episode. Today we're going to a funeral home. We're only going to be in the basement of the funeral home, and that's because we don't want to disclose the location. My friend Walt lives above the funeral home, and we're only going to be below the funeral home. But he works there, so he knows all about it, and we've been there before. We've done 4 or 5 investigations there, and we got a lot of activity there. So this is going to be a good one. You touching that antenna? You touching that thing? It's inside that box there. Yeah, do I have my... Alright, what the heck's going on with this thing? That won't go off unless you get close. Oh, now the REM pod's going off. We haven't even started yet, and Alfred Hitchcock might be down here. Do I have a tape recorder? Yes, I do. Okay, so this is good.
Yeah. A little bit more low key than I used to be.
That REM pod keeps going off up here. Are you touching that REM pod? Okay, I did that. If you touch it, it'll light up just like that. So right when we're setting up, things start to happen. The door alarm goes off, the REM pod goes off, we're getting EVPs like crazy. And so I'm still preparing things. I'm turning things off and on, getting ready for interviewing Walt. And then while we're getting ready, this was so unbelievable. We heard a voice out in the hallway, and we both stopped talking, and we could hear a distinct voice about, I don't know, maybe 15-20 feet away, and I couldn't understand what it was saying, but we knew nobody else was in there. And this was the most amazing thing. This was the longest ghost voice I ever heard in real time, and I didn't have any cameras on. I didn't have my recorders on. They had been off and on, and right at that moment they were off, and that really sucks. Anyway, we went out in the hallway afterwards looking for the ghost. There was no one else in the building. No one else but me and him. And we heard someone talking. It sounded to me like possibly a woman. Maybe 40.
Who's back here? We can see you.
Walt, that was fucking freaky.
Yeah, that was.
It just about brought tears to my eyes. That was so fucking freaky. They were having a full conversation. Somebody was having a full conversation. Oh my God, and I didn't get it.
Oh, that wasn't recording when...
No. I don't think I had one recorder on. Good God, it sounded like a radio was on. You know, it's the first thing you think, is like there's a radio playing.
Yeah, but it was all like... It sounded like almost like whispering.
Okay. Nope, nothing was on. Shit. That was insane. Now, the whole time we're down there, we heard noises. Some of these noises are compressed EVPs, where they're talking really fast, and it comes out as just a noise, like badonk. Most people don't know that these are EVPs. You have to slow down the video, and you can hear what they're saying. But this is an instance here where Walt, I tell him to turn off the light, and he goes and he's walking over to turn off the light, and he stops because he heard something. And what he heard was a ghost speaking really fast. You are... I don't even think we need this. Before that. close. Can you turn the light on again? Okay, we'll do it just in case. Right here, we get an EVP, and it clearly says Baal. And that's scary because Baal is a demon. I'm just going to read from Wikipedia what this says. He is described as a hoarsely voiced king with the power to make men invisible and ruling over 66 legions of demons. He appears as a toad, cat, and a human all at once. It's weird. And they think it's the same deity, but Baal is also a god that appeared in Middle Eastern religions. It's considered now a pagan god.
These orbs. These orbs. These orbs. These orbs. These orbs. These orbs went towards it real slow. Kind of reminded me of ocean waves.
So, we're in the basement of a funeral home, and this is Walt. He lives upstairs. And works part-time at the funeral home. And there goes the heater. Is that
That or the water heater.
the water heater? Okay.
Or actually, no, that's probably just the actual furnace kicking in.
The furnace. All right. So I've heard that you've had quite a few experiences here.
Yeah, starting pretty early on after I moved in. I put up a mirror in one of the rooms and I wiped it down with Windex, and I go back the next afternoon and there's what looked like a hand print, like a smudge that looked like 3 fingers kind of blending into a palm that kind of slid, not necessarily in a complete S shape, but like a curved line.
Was it like a child's hand or a full-grown hand?
It looked like a full-grown, and like I said, there were 3 straight lines, like 3 finger lines, and then as they went down, they merged into what looked like the palm print. So it looked like somebody was running their fingers across first, and then put the rest of a hand down.
Yeah.
And nobody else had been in the apartment in the time in between. When I cleaned the mirror and had gone back the next day and noticed that there was a handprint on it.
And we should note that you live alone.
I live alone, yeah. Well, except for 2 cats.
Except for the cats.
Except for the cats.
Vivian and
Noodles.
Noodles.
Yeah, I had to think for a second. Now, I did have 2 other cats when I first moved in here, who in the few years since I've been here have passed away. One almost right away, but she was sick to begin with. The other lived 3 years here, but there were certain rooms in parts of the apartment that he didn't want to go in. Sometimes both of the cats would watch, their heads would move in unison, like they were watching something pass through the room.
Also, the first time we ever ghost hunted here,
Oh, Henry.
we were upstairs, and we can't show the upstairs now, but we were just doing it for personal fun. So the only EVP we got that night was a barely audible, "I'm Henry." And we had asked, "Who's here?"
Yeah.
It said Henry, so we didn't think nothing of it. So then,
Yeah, it was about within a day or 2 later when I ran into the funeral directors and I had mentioned that we had done, the ghost hunt. And I had mentioned that we had picked up the name Henry. And the funeral directors kind of gave each other a look and had me come into the back room. And on the certificate, or on the wall rather, was a framed certificate of a man named Henry who had lived in this building, had lived in the apartment that I'm living in now, and had died in the building. And I just thought that was kind of weird, not hearing the name Henry first, and then finding out there was actually a Henry that was attached to the building.
Yeah, that was maybe the first time I ever proved anything with an EVP.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was the first thing you'd heard.
Yeah, because I mean,
stuff you've seen.
If I had known ahead of time that there was somebody named Henry attached to the building, it would have made it easier to think that that's what I heard. But since we both agreed on what we heard before we knew that there was a man with that name that was connected to the building, yeah, that was a little odd.
And you said you saw a person. Was it in this room?
It was in this room. It was over in the corner. This is the laundry
room. Can you walk
room.
over to the corner? I'll actually turn the camera here.
Although I can't see.
You can't see.
I can't see quite.
I can see through the camera lens, but you cannot.
Over here is a chair. I don't know if you can see this chair. Can you see it?
I see a box. Okay, I see the chair now. Yeah.
Okay, I had come in the room. This is the laundry room. I had come in the room with an armful of laundry, kind of looking at the laundry, and I raised my head up for a couple split seconds. It looked like there was a guy sitting here. Big, lumbering, kind of bald-headed guy that put me in the mind of Alfred Hitchcock. He was sitting in this chair, which is facing the wall, and he was facing the wall. But in that split second, his head started to turn like he was looking towards me. And I kind of blinked a little bit, and he was gone after that. But just for that initial couple of seconds when I come in the room, it looked all the world like there was somebody sitting here who was turning their head to look at me. So I did have another incident involving just get there.
All right, I'm not even gonna attempt to go back there.
I had the door to my entertainment center was open. The girlfriend and I were watching a movie, and the door to the entertainment center was left open. We had a fan in the window. The fan was pulling air from the outside, blowing it into the room. And just all of a sudden, about an hour or so into the movie, the door to the entertainment center just slowly shuts. And enough that it clicked. It just click.
I don't remember that one.
Well, it was against the push of air that was coming in from the fan. Now I could understand if maybe the wind had or the breeze rather, had maybe blown it open, but I just thought it was odd that it actually literally closed against a pushing breeze of air.
Yeah. And that's that was up in your living room?
Yeah. I asked Christy, I said, "Did you see that?" And she looked straight ahead. She goes, "Nope."
You mean she didn't want to admit she saw it, or she didn't say it?
Yeah, she's just sitting there kind of shaking her head. I mean, we were both kind of dumbfounded. But yeah, she's like, "Nope."
Actually, there's a lot of things that happened here. You got that picture out on the rooftop of a strange...
wispy...
It was like ectoplasm. What you would think of as ectoplasm, like just streaks of white. But it didn't form a body. Really.
Yeah, it didn't form a figure. I was out on the roof taking pictures of just kind of everything. The skyline, the buildings in the area, my cat. And 5, 6, 7 pictures I took in a row. And in the one picture where this thing is, and I literally would have seen it had it been visible to my eye because I was standing there looking right at my cat while I was taking the pictures. But in that one picture there, it's something wispy and smoky, kind of curling through the air. And to me the most curious part is the fact that there's literally a straight line of what looks like smoke that bends at a sharp angle. Like no drifting or wisping, it literally goes up and then turns this way.
And that you said you were not smoking on the roof, there was no cars underneath.
Yeah,
The
nothing
building
like
running.
that.
There was no fog.
No fog, no mist, no rain. And once I discovered the picture, I went back out and tried to recreate standing in the same place, taking the same picture at the same angle to see if maybe it was a reflection of light from somewhere. But I was standing in that one place taking pictures, and it literally only showed up in one of them.
Yeah.
And in that picture, my cat, Vivian, she is low down, and her eyes are wide open, like she's, whatever it is, she sees it.
I'll show the picture.
Yeah, you
I'll put it
still
on
have
there.
the...
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, like I said, it couldn't have been something on the lens because it literally did not show up in any of the pictures that were taken immediately before or immediately after
Yeah.
in succession. Click,
You would have
click,
seen it
click,
again.
click, click, click. Yeah, there would have been traces of it in other pictures.
And it's a funeral home.
And the roof that I was on is literally above the morgue.
You know, what else was I going to say? I did get a couple of orbs here when we were investigating with Jen and Sherry.
Yeah.
Right outside this door, right by your feet, that were interesting. Because I don't think we got any orbs other than that. And now you said this... Oh, that REM pod just went off a little bit. Can you guys touch that red light over there? See that red light? See that red light? See that red light? Or the green light? Anyway, didn't you say there was something that you saw in this hallway one time?
Yeah, Christy and I both. Christy and I both. Christy and I both.
Now I cut a couple of orbs here, and it's a very dusty place, but I just thought this one was kind of unique. It flies around, and then as it's coming at the camera, it starts to dissipate and break apart, which I thought was odd, so I put it in there. Not sure if that's anything or not. Then when we start talking about the voice we heard in the hall, an EVP says it's Henry. Although I don't think it was, because it sounded like a female to me. Unless she was talking to Henry. That could have been. Well, it finally focused, but it's up to you. Don't have to if you don't want it finally focused. Maybe I don't have the settings right.
Here, is that better?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay.
That is a scary hallway. And it is a scary hallway because... Cool.
Okay.
That is a scary hallway. And it is a scary hallway because while we were in that room with the washer and dryer just a few minutes ago, both me and Walt heard a voice talking out in this hallway, it sounded like. And it was full sentences, like somebody having a conversation.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
It was fairly loud, and I didn't have the camera on yet, of course, but that was spooky.
Yeah, that sent a little bit of a chill down my spine for that couple of seconds.
Back to what we're talking. Oh, you saw something. You saw a shadow.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it looked like a human-sized and shaped, like, person standing, and it moved from here
The shadow was on this wall?
on this wall,
Yeah.
and it came down here, and this light in this room wasn't on, but the light in the laundry room was. And I thought for a second, well, maybe that's, your first thing is, oh, that's me, but then when I stopped, and it kept moving, and it disappeared into the darkness of the doorway. Like it didn't continue beyond here, it's like it just, the darkness crossed the wall and just melted into the darkness in the doorway.
Something is moving around in here. Here. Somebody out here? I think I should put the REM pod in here. Now your ghosts don't seem to respond. I could put it inside of your little box. Your ghosts don't seem to respond on command except for Henry. Has talked to us a couple of times.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're doing stuff out of the corner of your eye and disappearing. They're very shy, it seems like. So Walt hears another noise and he stops and we listen, which happens throughout the whole video. He's good at this. He should be a ghost hunter. But what he heard was a noise, and the noise was a compressed EVP. And when we slowed it down, it says, "I'm dead." That's what he heard. And then we go out in the hallway and the cat ball starts going off. Wow. Can we just do a brief, we'll just run through each room.
Down here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll get done.
Down here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll get done.
Down here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get done.
Down here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get done.
Hey. Yeah, for all the world, it sounded like somebody was behind me, and they went shh, and that was enough. Like I snapped, and turned around, and there was nobody there, but it distinctly sounded like a sound that I heard, and not just something that I imagined.
Yeah. The cat ball's going off. Hold on. The cat ball is going off. You can see it in the distance. Is there somebody down here? Maybe you need a cat ball set up everywhere. Look at that, it's going off again. Oh, that's sitting on concrete, so there's no way we're gonna move the floor to make that move. I just put a battery in that. You know what? All right, let's go through the different rooms, and then it can be done.
Want me to leave the light off?
Just turn the lights on as we go in each room.
Okay.
There's the furnace. That's for the whole building. Now, can you tell us what this object is right here?
That is a testicular perforator.
Used to make people talk, like the mafia would use it.
Yeah. We have ways of making you talk. We perforate your testicles, yeah? The German mafia.
It looks like it's some sort of Something that pulls out plants? I don't know. I have not seen one, and we work at an antique store and we still have not seen one. So there used to be, oh, here's, you still have a embalming machine. There's not a light over here, is there?
No. Unfortunately.
We've got one embalming machine left. And there's some, I'm not sure what that is, a little table. Can you pick that table up?
A little folding.
Is that one of those cooling tables?
Yeah, it looks like it's broken though, down at the... That's probably why John didn't take it.
That is an old cooling table. They would set the bodies on top of that. And then there were holes in it. And they would put ice underneath to keep the body fresh. So this is an old building. It was, is it something like 1902, something like that?
Yeah, maybe even more.
It was right around the turn of the century. There's another embalming machine. There's the old oil tanks. An old bench, missing a leg. Did I ever look in here? Oh, these are the cots. Let's get to the elevator. Bunch of stuff. Throw one here. Yeah, right here. So this looks like the elevator where they would have the body in the casket ready, possibly, and then bring it up through the floor. It seems like a small hole though.
Maybe it was for supplies. Unless the casket was standing up.
Well, it looks like they may have, maybe it was bigger, a bigger hole, and they've patched it up. Is that, I don't know.
When they put those pipes there, maybe?
Yeah, possibly. I would assume that's where they raise the caskets. Because they're heavy. I mean.
Yeah, well that grating, that's the hallway that you come through when you come in.
Oh. You should put on a mask, and I'll be down here going, okay, here's the hallway, and you just go, I would love to do that.
Put on a Screaming Jay Hawkins record.
Well, coming up here is an EVP that gives us a history lesson. It's amazing. Is there anybody back here with us? Henry, are you here? Henry, the old maintenance guy? Are you still hanging out with us? You remember when we first met you? You remember when we first met you? And you said, I'm Henry? Those were good times. Is that an embalming machine too?
Yeah, I think might have been to pull, because they had to empty you as they were filling you. And I think that might have been the emptier. I don't know.
I don't even want to think about that. That's so disgusting. All right, let's try another room. That is an old chair. That is really cool. Oh.
It went off, it looks like. I'm not seeing anything.
I'll let it go off. They only last about 20 minutes to a half an hour. That's why I didn't have it turned on. And I It's unstable. It's unstable. It's unstable. That was loud. Oh, I gotta get a battery. It's still going. I like this camera. I'm gonna get it from the other end. I did like that cap off for a minute there, didn't I? All right. What other rooms we got?
Just this one.
Now, right here, if you look to the right, you can see through that doorway a little bit. There's a crack, and you'll see some clothes hanging up. And you'll see that Walt brushed past the clothes and caused them to swing back and forth. And this is going to become relevant in just a few minutes, and you'll see.
Yeah, remember that big glass cabinet that used to be in here? Yeah, I guess he got that too.
Huh.
He did leave that can of WD-40
Oh, well, that's worth it then.
and some moldy, rotting chairs.
So this seemed like it was some sort of dressing room, maybe?
I am.
Who knows? What was that? Put the camera up. Did we touch those clothes?
I don't. I mean, we might have brushed them when we walked past, but that's weird. Even if we had brushed them, you think it would have stopped doing that by now. There's no air currents or anything over here.
There's a lot of noises. But I mean, you're down here all the time. You probably hear, it's an old building.
Yeah, pops and cracks and yeah, just occasionally at night the building will pop or where it sounds like it's settling, but like upstairs.
Wasn't there a bathroom right here? Or is that the other room?
It's further down the hallway.
Yeah.
Is there anybody back here making these noises? Who's making these noises?
So right here, Walt is waiting by the camera. I had gone down the hall to get some stuff before we wrapped it up. And we get a whole series of things going on here. It's pretty scary. It kind of reminds me of the Blair Witch. You've got an entity that... You've got something talking. And since I heard the EVP bail earlier, makes me think it's bail. Or something like it. But there's all sorts of little voices and noises popping up here. You'll hear what happened, and I think I heard happy. I didn't put anything in there. I figured you could listen to it and decide for yourself. We got some orbs coming in into Walt. They go into Walt, and they don't come back out the other side. You know what I should have did? Well, I should have used the necrophonics. I learned how to use it really well.
Do something just... Did you hear that?
That? That's the
Oh, okay.
Because I heard that and I thought, is that me? Is somebody in here? Or is it just, you think? Well, maybe they'll do something if we go upstairs. If they're shy.
Yeah, that's...
Well, that wraps up the show for this week. We had a good time at the funeral home. Hopefully, I'll be going back there, and probably will here not too long. We'll go back and check out some more. But let's see, what do we got next? Next we have, well, we were going to have something about the succubus, but I'm still working on that. And if you noticed some of these EVPs, then you know what I'm talking about already. But anyway, next place I'm going is the very haunted Murphy building. It's an antique store. It's 4 floors high, and it's in downtown Maysville. I'll be going there with Hillary, and we're gonna have a great video on that. So this is Ghost Hunter Jeff signing off.
There we go. I can do Batman shadow.
It's Batman.
Here.
An eyeball. Alien.
That captain is highly That's the cloak.
That's awesome! Oh my god, what is that?
It's KFC.
KFC.
Not KFC, KFC. Knights of Columbus. It's a Colonel Sanders cloak. It's got a chicken patch on it.